Hello everybody, WandaVision, the series finale has come and gone. This marks the end of the first season of WandaVision, and so I'm Teddy.
And I'm Hope.
We're here to break down what we got in the finale and give some of our final thoughts on the series as a whole, looking back on how the storylines have come to a conclusion. The episode begins with Agatha revealing that the reason she has been orchestrating this whole attack against Wanda is so that she can steal Wanda's powers. And so the offer that she makes to Wanda is that if Wanda surrenders her powers, the powers of the Scarlet Witch, to Agatha, then Agatha will let her stay inside this hex fantasy that she has created here in Westview.
And she also points out that Wanda's hex is the only reason that her children and Vision stay alive. So we get 3 battles breaking out. We get Wanda versus Agatha, we get Vision versus Vision, and we get the rest of our heroes, twins, Monica, Darcy, and Woo, against the Sword agents.
Yeah, so focusing first on Vision against Vision, this is an incredible battle as they duke it out, flying around the hex. And the way that Vision ultimately succeeds is that he reasons his way out of his fight. He's able to start a conversation with White Vision because this is him. He understands how he thinks. He understands what is important to him. And so he poses the questions to him to begin questioning his mission directive, who the real Vision is, and then that ultimately ends in him awakening the memories of White Vision's past life so that he realizes the hero he really is, which was memories that had previously been suppressed by Hayward and Sword.
And White Vision leaves and goes who knows where. Cut to our other heroes. We see that the twins use their powers.
Boys, handle the military. Mommy will be right back.
We see Monica using her powers, and then when Director Hayward tries to escape, Darcy comes in for the save and rams him with her, I guess it was a funnel cake truck?
Yep, from the carnival.
That had been a tank beforehand, so because it kept its composition, she rams him and keeps him from leaving and tells him that she hopes he enjoys prison.
And then moving to Wanda versus Agatha, the big finale. Which against which, this battle, it keeps playing on the show's motifs of illusion. You're not sure who has the upper hand, who is really playing tricks on who. Wanda shows that she has learned a number of new tricks from Agatha from just the previous episode, and these ultimately prevail as Wanda unleashes her powers as the full Scarlet Witch and ends up trapping Agatha into the... It is interesting because Agatha was not originally part of the Hex. She entered the Hex and then played the role of Agnes, the nosy neighbor. And so Wanda effectively casts a spell and locks her into staying in that fantasy role that she had chosen for herself.
And as the episode draws to a close, Wanda puts her boys to bed for the last time and has a heartfelt exchange with Vision, says goodbye, and the Hex...
I know you'll set everything right. Just not for us.
No. Not for us.
Goodbye, at least for now, because there are definite hopeful notes on a reunion of this family to come.
My favorite scene from this episode is kind of a sleeper pick. It's a scene with Jimmy Woo, where he shows that he's definitely been working on other forms of close-up magic.
Flourish.
Hey, Agent Woo, please figure out a way to make yourself appear in another show.
For my favorite scene, I'm gonna have to go with Vision versus Vision. Every time White Vision is on screen, he just steals the scene for me, and I love the interaction between the two of them because they both understand each other so well, especially Hex Vision being able to find his peaceable solution to their fight and awakening the memories in White Vision. I loved it, made even better because I kind of called how their conflict was going to reason out. It wasn't too far out of what everybody was suspecting, but I really liked the way that it did play out.
But I'm not the true Vision. Only a conditional Vision. I request elaboration.
White Vision may no longer have the Mind Stone. Hopefully he retains his incredible insights into the human experience. With the finale, it is time to look back on the entire show and talk about some of our final thoughts. So what did you think of how this finale wrapped things up for us, Hope?
I found this finale deeply unsatisfying. First, it doesn't pay off on the comedy aspect at all. It devolves into more or less your stereotypical Marvel finale with a lot of flashing lights and shooty bang bang going on. But aside from that, the show doesn't really feel like it should have ended. It's not a good conclusion because they just decided to leave all of the doors open. Was this show about Wanda coming to terms with her grief and reaching a stage of acceptance? Well, sure doesn't seem like that's the point when your final post-credit scene is Wanda hearing her children shrieking for her from the Darkhold, and she gets that mama bear look in her eyes, and you think, oh well, she's gonna leave no leaf unturned until she rescues her kids again, and who knows what she's gonna do to everyone else to do that. So I really did not enjoy this finale. It just seemed to undo a lot of the things they were building throughout the series.
Yeah, the entire previous series had really attracted me to Vision and seeing his quest of trying to discover what is going on. And you get pieces of people trying to get to Wanda for her to also realize what she's doing to everybody, but she just completely stonewalls all of these interactions with her. And she just stays the same throughout all of the episodes, so you're left enjoying when you follow Vision. But then these final two episodes really swing toward entirely focused on Wanda, and her character development here in the finale is just extremely abrupt. She goes from the person cut off by grief to letting the hex down and saying goodbye to her family. And all of this just takes place over the course of part of one of the episodes. It would have been more satisfying, I think, if we had seen more steps leading up to this throughout the previous episodes. And then also Vision's storyline feels really abrupt because Hex Vision's goodbye to Wanda just feels a little bit abbreviated when the hex is coming down. And they do have a very sweet moment there, but I just wanted another really profound line like we got from the last one, similar to what is grief but love persevering. And then White Vision, who has probably the most hopeful future ahead of him of any of these characters, just breaks through a window and flies away and is on screen for so little time that to be this big hyped up reveal in one of the previous episodes, it feels like he was, I don't want to say wasted because his screen time was so good, but if there could have just been a little bit more, or maybe he got a post-credit scene, then to kind of show us the direction that he's going to take. Clearly Marvel wants to keep you guessing. This has been their thing all along, is that their shows run into each other and you follow them all to be able to get the full character payoff. But for this show that was dedicated on Wanda and Vision and dedicated to their relationship, their story, it felt like you wanted to be able to get a little bit more of that story than what you were left with, and being left with so many questions. So yeah, it is hard to pin down. We'll see. As the characters are going to appear in future Marvel properties, we're going to see their kind of final form upcoming, and so then it will be easier to say pass final judgment on this show, I think. And now for our final merch minute that is not going to be a minute and is still not sponsored.
All right, ladies. As you know, I wasn't a big fan of this episode. But one thing I was a big fan of was Wanda's new outfit. So, we see here that GameStop has, among other things, Wanda's tiara from the end of the episode. And if you're looking at this and thinking, wow, $90 is pretty steep for a single crown, that's because it's actually part of a set. You get not only the Scarlet Witch's crown, but you also get the wedding rings and one of the sword necklaces that we previously featured on our merch minutes. So, that's out there for pre-order. Expected shipping date is at the end of June. Next, her universe has some pieces out which you can use for subtle fandom in your everyday life, or you can combo them all together and basically get your lazy Halloween costume if that's what you so choose. So first we've got this peplum top, which mimics Wanda's outfit at the end of the episode. It's not quite a one-to-one. It definitely seems to me a little bit more inspired by some of her prior ensembles, especially the neckline, but you still get the idea. And then we do have these fabulous leggings, which are directly inspired from her appearance at the end of episode 9. So these are pretty fun. And then last, but certainly not least, this is definitely more moving from everyday fandom into the lazy Halloween costume area. But if you like the cape that Wanda wears when she gets that last wistful look at Westview before going off to who knows where, this is definitely for you.
Yeah, and I think her transformation into the new costume, it looks great in the show. It looks great here. You can check out a short that we have on the channel if you want to see all the footage we have from the last episode of her brand new costume. Thank you guys so much for watching. This brings us to the conclusion of the first show that we've been able to cover on the channel. It's been a wild ride. We have learned so much. We have really loved making these videos, watching the show, thinking about the show. It has been an amazing ride, and I think even though it was not the intended way to kick off Marvel's Phase 4 of their cinematic universe, it has been a very good way to kick off the cinematic universe. And now we have a bunch of things on the horizon. Falcon Winter Soldier is coming up in just a week from now or so. And so we are going to be covering that. The format of our videos is probably going to change a little bit, but we're still going to put out some review pieces and commentary, bring you what we are really thinking about, along with clips as well. The test that we have done with making some shorts and making those be clips has been awesome. It's been really excited to see people coming in for those, and hopefully some people come around for the reviews as well. Let us know in the comments if there are particular video ideas or topics that you are interested in having us cover. And until then, have a good one, guys.